Okay, hi everyone. Hey, this is my friend Alex, and Alex is going to help me to demonstrate a couple things, okay? So right now, he's just gonna face straight at an angle like this. Good, that way you guys can follow along. All right, his feet I want straight, pointed straight, and shoulder width. So I don't want his feet wide, and I don't want him having duck feet, like feet pointed out. So feet straight, shoulder width, okay? And now, we've been working on, and we've been talking a lot about the straight spine. So he's gonna he's gonna roll his spine, he's gonna tuck. Yeah, and he did a great job here, okay? And so now he should feel the really heavy. Do you feel the floor, the mat more? Mm-hmm. He should feel heavy. Now, you can also practice this with your partner is, from here, if I try to lift him up now like this, and he maintains that straight spine, from here and I lift, he is very heavy, okay? But if he loses that straight spine, lose it, now I go to do the same thing, okay? He's gonna feel very light. Okay, so by connecting the straight spine, now he's making me lift all his dead weight because his mass has gotten past his hips through that straight spine. Okay, so there's no more jam right here. Okay, think of the curve in the spine like the freeway. When there's a curve in the freeway, all the traffic slows down, right? It just you're waiting to see the accident, but there is no accident, right? It's just the curve makes everything slow. Well, that's exactly what's happening here. He strains it, all his dead weight drops to his heels, which is why all of a sudden he feels the ground heavy, okay? And now I'm actually trying to lift all his dead weight from the heels, which means he's got leverage, okay? So you can give that a try yourself to see if it's working for you, right? Okay, now from here, okay, he's now going to shift all of his weight to one side, okay, to one heel, okay? You see he's done that now, okay? So now he's over to his right side. So how do I check it? I'm gonna just monkey his arm, okay, and pull straight down, okay? If all of a sudden he feels his heel, okay, stay straight. If he feels his heel, okay, do you feel your heel? Okay, he says yes, that means he's doing a good job. If he moves his weight over a little bit too much and he tries to keep everything, right? If I pull straight down, he feels his knee is stressed and it's starting to pull. Okay, that means he's leaned over too much, okay? So you want to find that sweet spot where all the mass dumps right to his heel. Okay, so this is good, all right? So now he's there. Now, it's like one long pole on this side. He's gonna feel from the shoulder, the hips, to the knee, to the heel. It's like one long straight pole, okay? Or now from here, he's gonna rotate that entire pole. And at the same time, that's gonna make him pull the other side. So he's gonna rotate on that side, and that's gonna make him pull everything over here. He's still, now I'm gonna check again to see if he's moved his dead weight, okay? So I'm gonna monkey arm again. If he starts to feel stress in that knee, that means that that he's moved his weight past, during the action of rotating, he's moved his weight, which is not good. So you're gonna stay over here. I'm gonna adjust him a little bit, keep your knee straight, okay? Okay, that's good. Now when you rotate, you cannot let knee straight, turn, relax, turn your hip. That means that your spine, I can already tell he's twisted, which means that he let go of his straight spine. So do it again, go back, straighten your spine, keep it, move your weight. Now twist, turn. Good, okay, now relax your shoulders, relax. Okay, good. All right, so now if I pull, he can feel everything dumping to his heel now, even though he's rotating. This is a good position, okay, right? Okay, relax, Alex. Thank you, sir. Now from here, all he's doing is from here, straight, weight distribution, angle change, okay? Weight distribution, angle change, right? Okay, so this is what he's practicing, right? And it seems like, okay, no, great, okay? And each step of the way I check to make sure that all the steps are correct, right? Okay, now I'm gonna do it, but now I'm gonna do the exact same thing, but on the ground. So now from here, I'm on the mat. Alex is gonna stand up, or you can go on your knees, okay? Now, very common from this position is for your partner to go underneath your leg and lift it up and over his head, right? And start to, duck his head under, go ahead, pass, right? And pressure you, and this is one way to get around the legs, right? Okay, so this is very common. People just lift your legs, or he'll even get under both legs, right? And then lift you up, suck your hips in, and then stack you, and then pass, right? So there's a lot of variations of these passes, but basically he's underhooking my leg, okay? So when he does this, he's gonna underhook one leg. Now, from here, I'm just gonna let my leg relax, okay? I'll go the other side, okay? So I'm just letting my leg dangle. I don't want it on his shoulder yet. I want it on his bicep, okay? And I just dangle it, okay? Now, he's gonna have a strong grip, okay? And he's gonna start to like lift. Now, when he starts, what I'm gonna do now is watch. I'm gonna get off my hips, right? And I'm gonna bring both hips off the ground. And now I'm on my shoulders. So already this feels super uncomfortable for him. Now I'm gonna move my weight over to that side, just like I did standing, okay? Right? Now I'm over here, okay? And now I'm gonna rotate that side. So now when Alex tries to, he already feels this is really heavy, okay? Now when Alex goes to lift my leg, it's super hard, super heavy. So now if he's really strong, starts to throw my leg over, all I do is move my hips backwards. And that's gonna drag his own arm away from his body, okay? So I'll do the other side. You can, probably hard to hear when my head's that way, but he's gonna go underneath. My leg, I don't want it on the shoulder yet, okay? So I keep it over his bicep. Now you're gonna see, I'm gonna move all my weight over, and I'm going to lift both hips off the ground. So I've done the same thing that I did standing, okay? All my weight is over here on this pole, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to move my pole and I rotate it. So now I'm sideways, okay? Now, if Alex tries to throw my leg over my head, okay, it's super heavy. And all I have to do now is back up my hips and my knee will follow me. And that's gonna bring him down like this, which is horrible for him, okay? Because now you can start to like lock triangles and stuff like this, right? So he feels as my weight is dragging him around, okay? So this is why I say learning to do the stand-up version of my method, it doesn't matter. It works even on the ground if you understand it. You can be vertical or horizontal. Make sense? Okay. And then you can give that one a try. Okay, with a partner. And again, we can even use this for takedowns. Okay. So now, if Alex, let's say he goes to a single leg. Now there are some great. Go ahead. Now there are some great defenses. Especially a lot of times they'll tell you to push the head, which is super important. They'll start to say just base your leg out like this, right? And base, right? Okay. And then start to maybe work the defense on the hands, right? Try to make space, right? Maybe get an overhook, right? Things like this, okay? Or so that you can turn your leg and then kick out. There's tons of escapes from a single leg. But then when somebody actually grabs your leg strong, okay? And he's very aggressive. And lift my leg, okay? He's like this. So a lot of times basing my leg out here like this helps him to like take me down. Because my legs are so far apart now that it does make him able to like start to step out and sit down. Or yep, exactly. So he can find like where I don't have a base, okay? So a lot of times what I do is I don't go away. I go towards him, and what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna make this pull. See, all my weight goes up to this one pull, and then I turn, okay? So watch. He's gonna drive my leg, and immediately gonna base on his head. Now, before my leg goes up, I'm gonna start to push my hip in and make that pull, like this, okay? Right? Now I have I'm pushing the head down and away just a little bit, okay? And I've got this pull. Now I'm here, right? So now I'm going to rotate my hips, okay? So the pull is rotated. So now if Alex tries to lift my leg, okay, go ahead, lift. It's very heavy for him. He's actually, because all my weight is not in my, right here, actually all my dead weight is in my heel. So what I'm forcing him to do is actually like get under my heel and lift me from my heel, okay? Right? So if I have Alex like this, and he puts all his weight over, and he rotates his hip, Okay, so watch. And he can even just stand here. He doesn't even have to hold my head. But now he's just gonna relax and hold that straight spine. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and lift him. And now watch, no matter what, you hold that, right? So I'm gonna lift. Even with, see how I have to lift his entire frame from bottom up. I have to lift everything, right? Every ounce of him, and it's super hard, right? So usually what I do is I'll put my weight towards the partner, right? Like this. And you can also try from here is judo throws, okay? Because Alex studies judo as well as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? He does, he's being modest. And so a lot of times he'll do like a hip toss. He'll come over-unders, he'll throw the foot, yes. Now you see when somebody gets you like this, go ahead. He enters, now hold it. Okay, a lot of times what people will do is go butt back, like this. Is that true, Alex? Let's try to go butt back, all right? So what happens though is Alex would just go even lower than my hips, and then he will lift me up, yes. Now I'm gonna get thrown. So I call this physical leverage, okay? Or a lot of times they say in grappling, the lowest bull wins. So he's trying to actually get his hip lower than my hip. I'm trying to get my hip lower than his hip. Whoever wins that war will gain leverage. I call that physical leverage, okay? But now I'm gonna do just this, dead weight, and then ankle change. Okay, so he's gonna get the same thing, okay? Now instead of going hip back and down, I'm gonna go hip in and turn, right? So all my weight is in my heel now. So now, go ahead, Alex. So he cannot throw me in this position. It's really heavy. Even if he goes lower than my hip, get lower. Now go ahead, lift. He is super heavy because my weight is not in my hip. My weight is in my heel. So it's hard for him to lift me. Alex is surprised. I don't think he's ever seen this. So he's like, wait a minute, all right? So I'm gonna do it to Alex. I'm here, I get here. Usually what happens is I'll bump him in the hip to break his hip, and then I will get lower than his hip, boom, right? And then I can throw him, right? Okay, Alex knows this, okay? But what I want Alex to do now is, as I come over, just bring your weight forward and then over to the one side, to the side I'm trying to throw you. Yes, and now angle change it. Yeah, and now just hold that with a straight spine and just relax. Now I'm gonna try to get low. Again, he's forcing me to lift this huge, massive kettlebell that he's created. My handle is the hip, but the weight is actually in his feet, so he's created this long kettlebell effect. And if you know kettlebell, the weight is not in the hand. It's way below the hand, which makes it heavy. It feels heavy, right? Because why? The weight actually has leverage over your hand, okay? So this is the same thing, right? So give that a try, right? See if you can get that kind of effect of, oh, okay, I can't lift him. But this is, again, you have to make sure that you don't over move your weight past your hip, okay? And then when you rotate, you have to make sure that you don't bend the knee or you don't end up adjusting your weight again, okay? Moving your hip over past your heel again, okay? So everything has to be done correct, okay? All right? So these are just different examples of understanding your body, right? To gain leverage, but you see that it's the same method, whether we're going to be striking, or whether we're wrestling and trying to take each other down, right? Or you're actually on your back and he's trying to lift your legs. So you do the exact same thing in all three cases. It's the same mechanics, okay? Right? Got it?
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Makes perfect sense.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Alex. Okay, great to have all of you here, and we're going to continue the tutorial. We're going to get into all kinds of wonderful other stuff, right? Concepts, and principles, right? And the four concepts: connection, weight distribution, angle change, and leverage. And connection, there's three parts: connection inside your skeleton, your body, inside your body; connection of that to the ground; and connection of those two things to a partner. okay? So these are all the different concepts that we're gonna be exploring to understand your body and how to move it in a highly efficient way, all right? So thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.